Hi there, and welcome to another interview of our series of interviews with speakers of OpenConf 2023. I am Lampros Pappas. I am a member of the technical committee of OpenConf 2023, and today I have with me Christos Chatzis and Markus Borg. We will have the chance to discuss about Markus's upcoming speech to OpenConf and some other pieces about his background in the tech community. So, Christo?
So yes, hello all. I'm Christos. I'm an engineering manager in Orpheum, and I'm a part of technical committee as well. So we are thrilled to have the opportunity to sit down with an industry expert who is poised to shed some light on a topic that's both crucial and intriguing. Within the world of software development. So today we are joined by Markus Borg, a professional with a deep-rooted passion for software engineering and an impressive track record in the field. Markus has not only navigated the intricate landscapes of code, but has also dedicated his efforts to understanding the concept of technical debt and its undeniable impact on software projects. So, with his upcoming speaking on the OpenConf 2023, titled "The Quest of Evidence-Based Technical Debt Manager," we have a discussion with Markus about technical debt in general. We are working in a world where quick solutions can often lead to long-term complexities. And Markus is here to challenge our perspectives, bridge the gap between industry practices and academic research, and also to ignite discussions that would shape the future of software engineering. So without further ado, let's dive into a conversation that promises to be enlightening. So Markus, welcome to the interview, and thank you for joining.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me. What an introduction. Yes. So actually your sound acted up a bit there. So did you ask me a question?
No, but this is a good pass for me. So can we start with telling us about a little about yourself and your background in the software industry?
Yes, of course. So I'm the principal researcher at CodeScene. I've got a PhD in software engineering from Lund University. And I'm also working 20% as an adjunct associate professor with the Department of Computer Science, Lund University in Sweden. So you mentioned bridging academic research and industry practice in the introduction there. That is really exactly what I'm passionate about doing. I have a background as a developer. I started working with ABB, with the IDE and compiler developers back at the time. Then because of downsizing and offshoring, my position actually moved to India, and I returned to the university to do academic research and pursue a PhD. And then I've been with a research institute, state-owned research institute, for 7 years, until last year when I joined the private sector and joined CodeScene to really tap into the very interesting data that is available from that company. I've worked with CodeScene before in a European Research Union project. European Union Research Project, sorry, and now I'm driving new empirical studies on technical debt management, especially in software code quality in particular.
Yeah, thanks, Markus. We hear about the term of technical debt pretty frequently. I know that Christos is also working with engineering teams. What I've realized is that sometimes folks not always talk about the same thing when they talk about technical debt. So, as you are very experienced in this area, can you give us your definition of the concept and let us know why should we care about it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the term was coined a long time ago, actually. It was in the 90s by Ward Cunningham, so that goes way back. Then for a while it was used as a catch-all phrase for all sorts of problems in software, and that has changed a bit, I believe, I strongly hope, in the last decade. It has become a target for academic research, for example, and There are a few competing definitions around, but I like to talk about it as the trade-off between short-term benefits and the long-term consequences in software development. So it's an example of a cognitive bias that we've all seen, that's called the hyperbolic discounting, that leads to developers choose smaller immediate rewards, quick and dirty hacks perhaps, rather than the larger later rewards. And yeah, I think we all have experienced this actually. I think it resonates quite well actually with the community these days. So I think it was harder to explain the concept 10 years ago than it is today. But maybe you have another view on that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So yes, and Markus, based on your experience, do you have a specific examples of how technical debt affected business or products that that have, let's say, significant negative impacts on businesses or on business cases?
Yes, I cannot share any details of my partners, obviously, but everyone is struggling with technical debt. It's not a solution that you solve once and for all, right? You need to constantly work on it, work on your quality and your quality assurance. But there are two perspectives here that I like to bring forward. And the first one is the problem of working with the legacy systems, because the problem with quality in source code is that it always gets worse unless you actively work on maintaining a high level of quality. And this is a well-known empirical phenomenon. There is good research supporting this. We talk about the Lehman laws of software evolution, for example. And we know that unless you actively remedy technical debt over time, it will pile up and make you very, very slow. And it will also be very hard at some point to actually continue surviving as a company. There are some events last year that made the headlines. I think that's a good thing to share. Everyone should be aware of the public information. We have the Southwest Airlines in the US, for example. That was in December last year that they had major software issues there, and 10,000s of flights were canceled. And in the root cause analysis afterwards, technical debt was blamed. And there are other examples that recently are quite hot topics. We know about changes at Twitter, now X. There have been many discussions about the code base there. But it's not only about those old legacy systems. It's also about being very agile, being able to implement new things fast. So many companies are, of course, living with this fierce competition in the software industry. And unless you have high quality software, it is very hard to bring new features to the market fast. So it's not only about the big giants with legacy systems, it's also very, very relevant for the smaller companies that need to be fast.
Yeah, indeed. Your upcoming speech, its title is The Quest for Evidence-Based Technical Debt Management in the upcoming OpenConf. Can you let us know a bit more about the topic and, most importantly, how you were inspired to speak about something like this?
Yes. So it has to do with my background largely. So I have a background in empirically oriented software engineering research group. So empiricism means that you focus on building knowledge by learning from experience and observations. So the empirical software engineering community is global and very active. And it has been inspired by evidence-based medicine, where you design and conduct experiments, and then you gradually aggregate the results in meta-analysis, and then you provide good decision support for treatment, for example. And the whole idea with the evidence-based software engineering is to mimic that and try to actually collect data and bring evidence to the table for decision makers, because it is software is a largely opinionated field, actually. So there are many decisions made based on how it feels in the gut, and I feel very strongly about this endeavor of collecting more data and providing hard numbers. And that is what we do now together with my colleagues now. We're on this mission to show what the real costs of inadequate source code quality really is, and and technical debt. That's a good term to use in this context.
Yeah, and just a comment also from my side. I think the term of debt is very useful because it's something measurable, it's something tangible. So it makes us keep in our minds that technical debt is also something that we can measure, that we can account, and not an abstract term. Yeah, I like this approach. Yeah.
So what I really like to stress there is that there is sometimes a misunderstanding that the cost of the debt is what it would cost to refactor something and go back to high quality standard. But the real costs, the important costs of technical debt is really, I mean, the additional cost it takes to develop features on this code base where the debt resides, and how much slower it is for developers to understand the code and all those things. And that really adds up to important numbers.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Markus. Actually, Markus, you gave me a very good pass for the next question. But one comment from my side, I like also the debt term, because technical debt, it should be, let's say, we can have it in our mind like taking a loan from a bank, right? Maybe, as you said, we need to have, let's say, fast solution, go ready, go to the market, but then of course we have to invest in order, the debt to be low. So I like this analogy in my mind. So the next question I would like to ask is, so what are the key factors that can, let's say, contribute to the prioritization of addressing technical debt over, implementing new features? Because the industry is a constant battle between product managers that they want to release new features, and we, the engineering department, have technical debt in our mind, and we know where we have to invest time to solve bugs or potential error-prone code. So what's the key factors that, according to your experience, you have to check?
I mean, you describe reality, of course. I mean, many of us live in this reality, but it's important also, what we think, to debunk a myth that you can have either high quality or be very fast. I mean, this is not the case. Actually, on the contrary, we have some recent results now that supports our beliefs that yes, you can have both, and actually you need to have quality in order to be fast and rapidly moving down the line, actually. But that said, of course, I mean, if you experience source code quality issues, you cannot treat everything and tackle everything at the same time. I mean, there are some things that you must take into consideration when prioritizing what to do. And what we think is the most obvious is churn. I mean, activity. You need to prioritize the first improvements where it really matters. Areas in the source code where you have many people every day or at least every week trying to understand what the code actually does, working with it, and building on top of that. I mean, that's where you should focus first.
Excellent.
Yeah, great insights. And as we reach the end of our short interview, Markus, I'd like to ask you, after attending your speech in the upcoming conference, what is your hope about the folks that will participate in this? That will what do you hope that the folks that will attend this speech will get out of your speech, and what you hope will do different?
Yeah, of course, I hope for some powerful take-home messages for the audience at this talk here. I mean, if you come to this talk, you will get to see what I believe. I mean, is data from the biggest non-open source cross-organizational repository, Mining Endeavor, published in academic research. We've collected a lot of data with our partners, and we can give you now some hard numbers on what the costs actually are if you have a subpar software quality. And those costs are going to be very important in your next refactoring, argumentations, negotiations, and discussions when you prioritize what to do next. So I really hope I will be able to bring some evidence to the table for the audience to bring home.
Yeah. Christo, any final question or insights from your side?
Yes, I don't know if Markus wants to have a specific message to the people that will attend the conference, apart from the specifics of his presentation. So, Markus, if you want to tell something about targeting the fans, our fan base, you are free to.
Yeah, then I just want to say that you should bring some big glasses because you're gonna get to see some big data because this is going to be cool.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Markus, for this discussion. I think this is just the tip of the iceberg, and we are looking forward to have you with us and discussing this interesting topic.
Yeah.
Looking forward. Thank
Yeah,
you.
looking forward for your speech, Markus. It was great having you. At this point, I'd like to remind to our viewers to grab their tickets for the upcoming OpenConf. It will happen in Athens on 10th and 11th of November of 2023. You can find more information about tickets and our speakers in open-conf.gr. So thank you all for joining us today and have a great day.